Today we're talking about compound inequalities, which are two inequalities on one line. Sometimes are specified with words and or to distinguish between the two types of compound inequalities that we have. For and inequalities, we're talking about the overlapping area. For or inequalities, we would be talking about that it's on either of the two inequalities. So it could be on either of the two lines. We're going to start with the and one, number 15 on your worksheet, and it's two simple inequalities to solve. Add 6 to both sides, and we'd have n is greater than or equal to a negative 8. That is one of the two answers. And another answer that we would have is adding 6 again would be n is less than a negative 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and graph both of these. So n is greater than or equal to 8 gets a closed circle on negative 8. And since it's greater than, it's going to go to the right. And then we're going to do the n is less than negative 1 in the blue. So since it's simply less than, it doesn't actually include negative 1. We symbolize that with an open circle. We don't fill it in. And it's going to go to the left because that's the side that is less than negative 1. Now we're looking for the numbers that meet the conditions set by both. So I'm not looking for things over here. That's not part of the answer because it's only on the blue arrow. I'm not looking for things bigger than negative 1 over on this side. That can't be part of the arrow or the solution because it's not on the blue arrow. It needs to be on both since we're looking for and. An and situation has to be on both. And that is all the numbers that would be between negative 1 and negative 8, not including negative 1. So it's got an open circle at negative 1 still, and it's got a closed circle at negative 8 still. But all of these points in between negative 1 and negative 8 would be part of the solution. They would work in both inequalities. This is the typical and graph where the two arrows go towards each other. It is not the necessary case, but that is the typical one. Over on the or graph, we would add 6 to both sides to get rid of it, and we'd have n is greater than 0. Or we'd add 10 to both sides, and we'd have n is less than negative 5. And these are my two solutions. But since this is an or graph, we don't really care that it is on both arrows. What we care about is that it's on either or. So we're going to graph both. N is greater than 0. That is an open circle going to the right because those are the numbers that are bigger than 0. And then we have the less than negative 5. So we'd again have an open circle since it's not including the negative 5. And we'd go towards the left because those are the numbers that are smaller than it. Now since this is an or graph, it only matters that it's on either arrow, and any of the numbers on the blue or the green are part of the solution. So my solution set is what is drawn here, is the red section to the right and to the left. And this is the typical or graph. It goes apart from each other.